Here's my puppy Juno. We're gonna look at a couple of things. So we left off with the C-can door and a couple of things that we were working on. So there's the mini bike. I'm just draining the oil and well, I guess getting it prepped for when the Stage 1 performance kit comes in, which is a new airbox, exhaust, and I think that'll be it for now. But this actually was flooded with the drain the oil because there was a bunch of gas in there, and you can't really tell, but it looks like there's a bunch of fouling inside the engine, so we'll have to probably clean that out as well. We're gonna tear it down completely. We got the pressure washer back. I just need my hose for it so we can actually run it off of a hose. But I'll probably set up a little mini car wash type of deal in here. But today, I don't know if you can tell, but the snowmobile is out. My nephew fixed that, got it running. What I'm gonna be doing is, I did not have my large socket set before. I'm gonna be taking apart the front and the rear diff from my ATV. I don't have the frame just yet, but that'll probably be coming later. I also got more containers that I used to transport a bunch of my stuff to work. It's mostly electrical stuff. But yeah, I'll be packing up a bunch of things that don't necessarily need. I'm still kind of deciding whether or not I want to take things with me or leave everything here. But for now, hold on until we start working on the front and rear diff, because we're taking that apart. Okay, so what we're doing here is, I don't know if you can tell, but this large nut has that pin bent in, or it crimped basically, the key. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to use this hole punch set, punch that out, use the socket driver with the, where's the Ugga Dugga? The Ugga Dugga. Actually, I got to take a moment to explain some tools here, as per a conversation I had with the coworker. Multiple types of drills. You have the drill. I don't have an example here that's being used, but just a normal drill, an impact drill, and then you have, that's a drill actually, an Ugga Dugga, on account of the sound that it makes. Actually, even a regular electric impact could be called a mini Ugga Dugga. I don't know, it's just the way I describe it. It's the sound it makes. But yeah, we'll be taking both sides off, then we'll be taking the whole hub assembly apart and popping those bearings out, hopefully, and crate this all up. This is spare parts. The other spare frame actually has pretty much all of this, just it needs an engine. And some of the other components that I'll be swapping over from this stuff onto the new frame, basically. So as per a conversation I had with somebody, I was thinking of basically taking the 2 aluminum crankcase tabs that I have and cleaning them up. But I'm wondering if there's heat damage related to how it was set up. Because the other crankcase, because of the rock that hit, we were leaking oil, and as a result, it's possible that wherever the engine didn't have enough oil to keep cool, for example, this is considered airtight or liquid tight to hold oil, so any oil will keep to the same temperature. But if it's leaking all of the oil and it's running, there's probably a good chance that parts of the engine that didn't have oil got super hot, and that would affect the heat treatment of the engine case. So I'm thinking, for the other engine case, despite the fact that it's repaired, it might just be put aside and used for something else. So I might be looking at doing that, is we'll just order a whole new set of crankcase tabs, bearings, and throwing the existing parts in. I don't know if I want to go with the stroker piston or something on those lines. We'll see what happens down the road. But the new frame should be here probably later next week. I'll grab it, because it looks like the snow's starting to get moved, so it'll be available. But once that comes, then we'll start working on the ATV engine. And that's the update for this. Okay, I figured I should update you on how this is removed. So there's a couple of snap rings within the splines. And basically, you just rock it back and forth until that snap ring pops out, and you're able to remove them. Pretty straightforward. We'll do the same with the front and rear, whatever the other one is. And we'll put them all away. Okay, and if you're wondering how you remove the tie rods, just use one of these guys, or you get one of the forks, pry it apart. Pretty straightforward. This came apart swimmingly. Yeah, you just get that crush sleeve out of there. I'm put the dugger on it and remove it. Pops right off. Off comes the brake caliper hub and the hub behind it. And this is done. I'll probably take these apart. You can use these as spare parts because those tie rod ends still look okay. Just gotta clean up the threads. And they'll be all right as spare parts.